As humans, we always want to know what is beyond the horizon, in space, on the moon, the stars. So we develop ways to get there. Then what? We were designed and made to live on Earth. Here we have water to drink, and plants and animals to eat, breathe oxygen, put out carbon dioxide, and have plants around to convert it back to oxygen. As the Earth rotates around itself and around the sun, we have day to be active, and we have night to sleep. And something called gravity to securely hold us down on Earth. We call it 1G. Now, space is not a friendly place for humans. So when we go beyond Earth, we have to take all this with us until we can figure out some other way to use local resources. Maybe we might adapt to living in space, on the moon or Mars, but we expect to return to Earth. So we try to remain Earth healthy. We cannot have it both ways. And we probably cannot adapt even if we did not plan to return. In space, in Earth orbit, we have night and we have day every 90 minutes, instead of what we have here on Earth, which is 24 hours that we are used to. Instead of 1G, we have 10 to the minus 5. So we appear to float. On the moon, gravity is 1/6 that of Earth, which must be near the threshold, because we remember the Apollo astronauts being upright, but bouncing because they couldn't quite walk. On Mars, we have 1/3 Earth's G, so it is probably at or above threshold to keep us upright. But why is the level of gravity important? Because without it, or at below threshold, as in space, where we have microgravity, we have learned that health deteriorates rapidly, because systems we normally need to function actively, like the mass of muscles and bones that we need to stand and walk with, are no longer needed. The heart gets smaller and circulation is more sluggish. So when we return to Earth, we faint. Just as the nervous system is not used to maintain balance and coordination. So when we return to Earth, we fall. In fact, every single cell and system in the body is affected because it does not receive this vital, frequent stimulus provided every time we move in gravity on Earth. The adverse effects of living in space keep showing up the longer we stay in microgravity. Now that we have had astronauts in space for at least a year, we keep seeing new phenomena that appear. We have not adapted, nor do I believe we will if we do for a long time. The changes we see are very much like aging. And we know that we do not survive aging. So if we plan to return to Earth from a trip in space, we need to plan accordingly. Provide adequate gravity stimulation. How much? How often? How long? All needs to be titrated depending on the conditions that we will find ourselves in. There is a great deal of research that needs to be done. The young generation who will be researchers need to get cracking to figure out the answers. The good news is that by going into space, we are discovering more and more about ourselves and our health on Earth.